You know me well. Oh, you're not. Baby. All right, as we stop right here at week 5 right now, we go right to the standings. We can start talking about those guys before, 4 games played. We can start talking about the standings and where guys are at right now. And as you can see, the defending two-time Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are the #1 team in the rankings right now. 178 points scored, 54 points given up. Chiefs are #2 at 4-0, 144-85. Those Chiefs, man, their young quarterback look like he can get it done right now. So are those Cardinals. With old head Sensei at the gun, 202, 122 points giving up, but he's balling right now. Ravens are the last undefeated team sitting at 4-0 right now, 170, 162 points given up. Round off your 5, the Patriots 3-1. Their only losses to the Buffalo Bills, 103 points, 130 points scored, 102 given up. Browns are 3-1. They are #6 on the list. The Giants are #7 at 3-1. Then you got the Eagles at 8, Jaguars at 9, football team at 10, all with 1 losses. And behind that in the top 15, Cowboys 11, Bears 12. Then you got the Texans with two wins, 2 losses. Seahawks at 14 with 2-3, and the Colts are 2-2 right now. You got a whole bunch of 2-loss teams behind that, so the record is the race is going to be very close going forward. Um, through 4 games, you look at the AFC North. There's a 1-game lead here, and the AFC South there's a 1-game lead all the way through here, except for the Titans game. The Patriots 1-game lead. Dolphins are at 1-3. They're going through some changes over there, quarterback change over there that we must talk about. Now, they had a run with De'Aaron King for 2 seasons, man. He is no longer a part of the Miami Dolphins plans whatsoever, man. They traded him out of there to Las Vegas, sent him to Vegas, and in return, they picked up the big quarterback with the strong arm, superstar talent, backup quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, and they brought him in. We're going to go to that in a second, but we're looking at the AFC West 4-0, Chargers 3-2. NFC North, we're looking at 3-1, 1-game lead here. Lions are 3-2, Packers are 2-2, Vikings are 1-3, not playing games. 4-0 here. Panthers are 1-3, 0-4, Saints 0-4 as well. Had to take a fucking 50-50 that kind of blew his shit because this team is hot. I know they got 4 losses, but they're hot. Trust me. And the East, 3-1, everybody. Same record right now. You know, that division is what it is over there, man. Those guys do what they do. And in the West, you got a 3-game lead from top to bottom. You got the 4-0 Cardinals, and then 2-3, 2-2, and 0-4 Rams. All right. That's your divisions. That's your divisions. That's your divisions. Now, let's talk football. All right, man. Obviously, we've been talking about what's been going on in the league. Diaper dandies. When it's early like this, we talk about diaper dandies a lot. But let me get my plugs in right now, man. You can take a walk with me through the rosters right now, right? And we're gonna go to practice squad. And at this point now, with the way the league is, there are dogs on practice squad right now. I don't know how many people have been paying attention to this, but we do have the practice squad wavering system back, so you can put a bid in for a player on somebody's practice squad if you want, and it'll take the rules committee. We'll get back to you before 24 hours for the most part, but give us up to that 24 hours to get back to you and let you know if you got that player or not. All right, so the terms of you being able to get that player comes down to records, the draft. So the team that picked, not the first, not the teams that picked 1 through, it's going to be the teams that had the worst records, right? They'll get top dibs. Now, some guys traded, right, and got down there in the top 10 and all that. They're not going to be in that run. It's going to go from last year's season draft picks. So if trades were made, it will go to the team that made that trade to move out of the top 10. Those guys will go first. So um, if you put a bid in, and let's say you do, playoff team, and you put a bid in, in 24 hours, if nobody else put that bid in on that player, by the next advance, that's your player. But if somebody put the bid in with you and they had the worst record than you, they had the worse record than last year than you did, then they'll get that player in front of you, and that's how we want to do it. And then each week, it'll switch, right? So we opened up week 3. All right, so it's the worst records right now. A couple guys did put a bid in already. If next week, which is week 4, it will be the best records to the worst record. Week 5, where we at right now, goes back to worst record to best record. So we're on that path right now, worst record to best record. So you look at the practice squads right now. There are young guys on the practice squad. We got some good guys over there. So if you're looking for guys and you need a player, I mean, alone, just the fact that Joshua Lanier is sitting right here with 85 overall, 95 speed. I don't mean to, point it out. 95, 96, 92, 92. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is important, fellas. Pay attention to this. You cannot sign nobody off your practice squad anymore, unless it's a gift or something that I'm doing, and I make the decision. I'll post it in the main chat so everybody will see that why this person signed the player off the practice squad. These players on practice squad are locked on practice squad. We're not all of a sudden I'm talking about it, so y'all gonna go try to take y'all guys off your practice squad. That's not gonna happen. When I go to transaction and I see that you signed them, we'll ask you to put them back on there. And then if we have to ask you again, it'll be players getting dropped until you put them back on your practice squad. These guys are locked on the practice squad the entire year now. After week 3, if you didn't remove these guys, week 3 when we advance to week 3, if you didn't remove those guys off your practice squad, they're practice squad players. And for the entire rest of this year, they're up for waiver signing. Somebody can come get them if they need them, whether it was a guy got injured or whatever the case. Now, if you want a player from your practice squad, you have to bid on them too. You have to do the same thing, bid for that player. Now, I will be posting exactly what I just said here because I know it's late. Not a lot of people watching right now. Um, and then legit, I need to make sure everybody in the league knows this. But practice squad waiver signing is available. Okay. Oh yeah, and to put in, you have to send it to the coach, Irish Mike Tillman. Send it to him. Your bid on your player you want. You send it to him, and then we go from there. All right, let's get back to it, man. Get back to the schedule. Let's see what happened in last week's matchups. All right, so week 5, you got the Dolphins and the Bills. They already locked in, knocking their shit out right away. This is a big game for the Vikings. If you don't show up in this game, he was an opportunity to lose his team and draft spots at this point. Panthers, Falcons, we will have a new user there. Um, Browns, Steelers, big time matchup. Still, this their second matchup, so I think the Steelers did win the first matchup. So this is a big game right here for the Browns and the Steelers. Matter of fact, this might be the game of the week right here for me. All right, so the Jets they're still out of commission right now. They have an excused absence right now. Lions and the Texans played. Look at it, man. Listen, if you don't think Los is getting better, then you are mistakenly an idiot because he is. He's getting better as far as putting his team together, and he's getting better on the field right now. And that's a big time game, 37-31. They're on a, I mean, they're on a turnaround, man. I can really see, the change over there with how he play. Even me playing him last year, you saw even scheme wise what he's doing. It's starting to come together for him. So those Titans, to me, I think you got to be paying attention to him. And he got his boy Dijon Warren, man. He got Nugget over there, boy. He got him back. Had him last year, got him back this year. Bengals, Chiefs, big game for the Chiefs. Can they continue to, win ball games, man? They 4-0 right now. Colts football team. This is huge for both teams as well. I think the football team has to show that they can, they're not a team that, drop a game they're not supposed to drop. They got to start to be, take that course of a game I'm suspected to win. And so does Mike. Mike has to be on some shit like that too. Mike got to be on some, I can play with you guys. You know what I mean? And his levels to the guys that are in his league. Everybody got a tier there, and Mike has to be able to win this game to show that he can take that next step and get out of that tier he's in and move up. And then again, Hitter has to show that, he can get the job done all the time, not just, can't be a slip up. You got to be able to get into your division, and that be the games where it's iffy sometimes and it's going to be harder to play. But games like this, you got to win this game and go out there and do it convincingly. 49ers, Rams, man. Niners got, trying to get active. I've been seeing him in the chat looking for his games and shit like that, so that's a plus. And then you got young Bo, man. He's still in the process of, figuring things out right now, man. Thought I had him on a path though. I thought I had him on a pretty good path, as far as getting some marquee players in there where you don't have to worry about the build. You got guys that come in with high awareness and threshold and play recs, which can help you in your games while you're playing, because the AI will play a little bit better for you. But I gotta talk to him, see where his head's at, see where he's going, how he feels about his team, what's going on with what he got going over there in Los Angeles right now. They did make the move for DJ Ugalele. We got to see, if he's playing the right way with Ugalele to be able to, make that move, been a smart move. Seems like every week the Chargers play, when they do play, they pitting up 50 and 60 points out here in the regular season right now. Like, you don't think they're comfortable with their quarterback? Crazy. And you got the Giants and the Cardinals, big time matchup right here. Last time they matched up, Giants won this game in the playoffs, knocking the Cardinals out of the playoffs. So this is a good matchup, King Falky versus understudy, the Giants. Jaguars, Eagles. I like this matchup, man. Lamar Jackson for Shoguns is playing really well. And then you got DT, two dual threat battles. This is going to be the battle of the dual threat quarterbacks. You got the veteran and the young gunner trying to take over and make his mark like the veteran did in Lamar Jackson. So you got two guys that's throwing the ball really well this year, and they have quarterbacks that can take off on you in a heartbeat. Broncos, Raiders. I don't really know what's going on with either one of these teams right now. So, but this is a matchup that we'll see what happens, I guess. Buccaneers, Ravens could be the game of the week as well. Rematch of the Super Bowl. If I'm, me being a Ravens coach, is this a revenge? It's got to be a revenge game. I always say this. This is a game that you got it marked on your calendar because it's a good game. You're playing a good coach, right? But it's not a revenge game for us. This would have to be a Super Bowl matchup for it to be a revenge game for us. But we want to be able to, we want to better show that we can do more than what we did in that Super Bowl offensively. So we got to take some steps offensively against this Buccaneers team. Bears, Packers. I like this. War Paint's here. Those that don't know about War Paint's been in my league before. He can play this game. All you got to do is catch up to the speed of our league and what's going on. He hasn't been around for a couple of this. He's back now. So he catch up to what we do over here and the speed of the league and how things are. I think he's going to be in a situation to make this Division 3 strong with the Lions, Bears, and Packers right now. Cowboys, Saints. All right, so young foe, you on an 0-4 start, and one game wasn't your fault. But this is the chance where this has to be a game you go out and win. This isn't a game you go out and, chase stats with Troy Franklin and all that. This game you got to put on your calendar and mark it down as, we got to go win this ball game. This is the game that we must win. You're going to have to challenge a guy that's been in the playoffs for the last few years. A stout run game over there. And you got to be able to show, like, all right, let's get this team out of that, out of that funk and turn it around a little bit here. because I do think we have the team to do it. Although they're a very young team now, but I do think they got the team to do it. They got the the right pieces over there. You just continue to allow Williams and Troy Franklin to grow, and also find who's Khalid Williams' second target or third target. You know what I'm saying? And then between the veteran running back and the young running back, Peppers, get it going on the ground as well. So I like this matchup too. I think this is a good matchup to pay attention to and watch too. I'm not gonna spend time on week 4. A lot of games to play. So Buffalo went out there and beat the brakes off of the Patriots, 51-20. I don't know if Hits Israel ever been a part of a game like this. Mike.
I'm missing a lot of shit. Is Israel over there?
Yes, sir. 133.8, 354 yards, 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Freddie Minor, Freaky Freddie starting to fall off, I guess. 163 yards passing, 2 and 5 interceptions. You can't win like that. I mean, Hits did have 23 carries, but again, the Patriots are not going to be in a good situation if they're running back. I don't care how many 100-yard games he have. If it's not 2 or 3 touchdowns to follow that 100 yards, he's not going to win a ball game. Usually loses those games. The quarterback had 38 yards for a touchdown. Griffin, they kind of shut the run game over here for the Bills. When you look at the receivers, Jalen Woods, the tight end, went dummies, 4 catches. Warren Newman, 3 for 85 in the T. Moss Jr. had 2 of them things. Chris Poole also had 2 of them things, along with Andrew Griff out the backfield. Dolphins, Colts, Indianapolis. See, this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. The Dolphins they're not at their complete strength right now. This is not early Dolphins. 3 years in Dolphins.
You're starting over for real.
This is the restart for the Dolphins right now. But if you're the Colts, you don't care about that restart. You care about proving you can win this game, and you did. You went out there and won it by 10. And I think you pulled this off late in the fourth quarter, scoring 10 points in that fourth. So your second half was excellent, man. 24 points in the second half to his 10. Very good second half. Let's see what happens when it comes down to the game stats. Witter, 103.4. Got to get Witter back on track too, man. He had a hot start to his young career, and kind of starting to phase out a little bit. We got to get him back to playing really good football and more safer football. You can't come out with 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on a game. All right, so are we having a quarterback problem over here, or are we having a system problem over here? Because King throwing a lot of picks. Manning, Marino came back in throwing a lot of picks, and now you bring a young rookie over here. And I would expect this. He hasn't had too much time. He doesn't know the playbook yet. They really don't know what they got with this quarterback right now, Jason Butterfield. We're gonna talk about this Dolphins team today a lot. But 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You can't win a ball game like that, man. The turnovers are. I think they got a rhythm situation going on over there. They just don't have the right. The system ain't working for him right now, so they got to figure it out and get back to it, and figure out what's going on over there. Period. But I think the Dolphins will fight through it. He has that fight through it heart. He ain't gonna fold or quit or start acting funny. None of that shit. Start looking at shit, bitching at other. He ain't gonna do none of that. He gonna stand tall and figure out why he's not having the success he's used to having. But he's going to figure it out. The one thing I do know is he'll fight through it to figure out his issues. And the whole thing is this, fellas, he has the time to do it. Why? Because, we'll be playing till August in this league. So he has the time to actually, figure it out. What do you think, though, Snake? Is just more with him? Is just more of a roster turnover? I think the quarterback changed a couple seasons ago with
Dolphins.
Yeah, what do you think the issue is?
Nah, man. Sometimes we get a little bit complacent or confident, so. In the past, he's had instant success with being able to swap over quarterbacks. So, at this point in the league, it's just a tad bit harder. It's a little bit more of a task. We see some users do it, but they still be having growing pains. So I just think that, but I think this time he know what he's in store for. It's just the quarterback changeover, man. just think
that's the first and foremost thing is like, all right, you gotta better find your signal caller. You gotta better find your franchise guy. What happens when you find the right guy as a signal caller? Look at the Chargers.
Then I gotta catch up with his roster. Damn, I found me a little gym. I gotta catch up with his roster. What happened with Waddle over there? Did he replace Waddle? Is Waddle still sitting there?
Playing, and they did spend the first round pick on another receiver with Waddle's type speed and Deion Smith. So they addressed that. And, you know, I seen a couple of games he played where he had some good stats in those games. So they addressed the wide receiver situation to be able to, you know, go move forward from Waddle. But to me, I think it's more of a scheme. It seems like what you used to be comfortable with, you're not as comfortable with it right now. And that, you know, it might start with finding the right guy at quarterback. At the end of the day, Derek King, you know, he was a Madden quarterback. What I mean by that is the right speed, the right things that you would want in a quarterback. When you look at his attributes and stuff, he was a good Madden quarterback, but he wasn't a quarterback that's supposed to come in and be a starter right away. This guy should have sat the bench, you know, for a while until he was ready to play. They couldn't even plug him and play, and they had something going, bro. They had the dual threat shit going. He was running the ball really well from the quarterback position, but he wasn't giving what he wanted in the passing game. And I think from there, you got to better stay in front of it now, because if it explodes, it's going to be harder to figure it out. They traded him to the Las Vegas Raiders for the quarterback that we just saw, Butterfield. A 6th-round pick.
That's interesting.
Let me ask you this. Should they have made that move?
I don't think they had to. I think they could have kept, even if they was interested in Butterfield, they should have kept Derek King over there.
Well, I kind of thought the same shit, and I thought. Here's my thing. Here's my go to that roster first.
Yeah, he still got Marino. Let me look over there.
Yeah, he still had Dan Marino on the roster as well. I mean, Dan Marino is still Dan Marino, right? The problem is Dan Marino hasn't really played a season. He's only came in and like to be a savior for a game. You figure. Derek King in his rookie season started every game except for the playoff game against the Ravens, and then he started every game the following year except for the playoff game against the Bills. So he hasn't really played. So it's not like Marino is not still here. He just hasn't played. So they still got the guy that had them, you know, consistently being one of the top passing teams in the league. Now, I could see why they made the move for Jason Butterfield, right? Like that.
Because they brought in them three young receivers as well. So like, I mean, maybe he just decided if you're gonna hit the reset button, let's go ahead and just hit everything from scratch. So you bring in Butterfield, you bring in 3 young wide receivers. With Waddle hitting that 30, Forbes didn't really get what they really wanted to out of Forbes and Huffman. Being that they all a little bit smaller.
Is it too late for them though? I don't think so. I think at this point, you want your roster, you want to reset this roster. So here's the difference between.
It's not too late, but neither one of them is going to be no number 1 wide receiver over there. I don't think. Like, so you know, end of the day, one of them should actually develop into a slot guy and want to hang around for the number 2. So it looked like he went out there to go get him a number 1 wide receiver, like you say, in the first round, in Deion Smith, and then find out his second and third options, and he just wanted to bring his young quarterback in and develop with him. You know, sometimes the extra mobility of quarterbacks can get you in trouble, especially with some folks that's not really accustomed to with it.
He played his best football when he had
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, but even Dan Marino, here's the thing. He played his best football when he wasn't, you know, looking to take off with his quarterback. He used to just move the pocket, roll out, things like that. But his team plays at his best when their quarterback is standing tall in that pocket and firing the football. But, you know, Teddy Bridgewater moved the pocket for him. He evaded sacks. You know what I'm saying? He's able to roll out right and left and still make the throws. Marino had a little bit of that in him too. But then when you go to Derrick King, he has the speed to turn on rollouts into runs, which throws your timing off, because if you're thinking about running the ball, you're not reading the field as much as you're thinking about.
Right.
You think about it because your clock go off. Your first read ain't there. You got a guy that can get you 8 yards at quarterback. So you don't go
Don't go
comfortably
to
to
the next
read
one.
2 and 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They were at their best when one wasn't open. They was able to go to 2, 3 order check down.
They was at their best when one was Waddle. He was always open.
Yeah.
So Waddle taking a step older. You know, this is looks like he's looking for that real number one target. He brought in a QB that they might be more comfortable with. Like you say, extend the pocket a little bit, or Oregon. Not necessarily the whole.
This is what I'm gonna say. I would say you had, and you know, I can't make a person listen to me or hear what I'm saying, but I'm gonna get advice out of it. I don't know if you was around when I said things like a Sheldon Ward would have been a good receiver there. You know, it's receivers in this league. Here's why, right? While you're transitioning, you bring a diaper dandy in, which is all fine and dandy. But the guys you gotta rely on are Forbes and Huffman, and here's the problem with them. They've been in the league. One's been in the league for 4 years. The other one's been in the league for 3 years, right? And you're dealing with 84 awareness, 87 awareness. They're not going to win against some, these corners that got 90 or above awareness right now. And these guys should damn near be 99 overall players already, being in the league this long, but they're not. So that just tells you the attention he really didn't spend on them. And so I think these guys are a waste.
Not only that, and Forbes is only a star.
Right.
He ain't on ability, which I mean, he's going to be a step behind.
He can save his season right now. He can save his season right now if he look through the league and look for some guys. You know what I mean? And I already know where those guys are at. Is he willing to pull the trigger? And to pull the trigger, you gotta be able to dangle these in front of guys. Pick 3. You already got rid of 4 for safety, but you gotta ready to go. You gotta be willing not to play in the draft to really turn it around. Because this is what I do think. I think there's some receivers in this league right now that could come over here and give him his offense back right now.
Does he go with the grown, or does he just stick with the young boys in the growing pains? He knowing he gonna have the growing pains with the young wide receivers as it is, so that's why he go ahead and swap over another young QB to make him be a little bit more disciplined.
He missed a 2-year window already, fucking around with Derrick King.
Yeah. Bill's got a lot of smaller, tight frame, a lot of the same kind of wide receivers.
Time is on the side, though. Time is on the side, though. I mean, the speed is in the room. He got the speed in the room. You just got to get it to work right now. Because see, what happens is your number 2 and 3 can't beat most number 2 and 3 corners in this league because they're just better threshold players than they are. So you don't win those matchups. And that's the problem. And then once a guy, focus on a Waddle, take him out the game, you stuck with your tight end and trying to figure things out after that. So you got to be magnificent in your scheming, or you got to go get, you know what I'm saying? When you drafted these receivers, you should have spent just as much time building this guy, because you did Waddle in 2 seasons. You had Waddle damn near 99 in a season and a half. You could have literally did the same shit with these guys right here.
At least one other guy on your roster like that. I mean, so you're definitely missing and then not only that, they're the same kind of wide receiver. Like, I mean, Waddle's only 5'10" respectively. He got that speed, but you got 5'9" and 5'8" coming up the rear. Like, that's why when we were talking about last year was the year of the tight ends. His tight end definitely was one of the higher targets over here. He had 87 catches, almost 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. Like, he had a great. That was his tight end's best year, I believe.
See, this is the
yardage and catches wise.
Waddle was during the era of his speed was absolutely ridiculous compared to everybody else's. Now you're in a league where we're 10 seasons in. Waddle speed come out the draft every day now. It's that all over the league now. You got DBs, linebackers is running Waddle speed now. So now you got your scheme got to work these guys open now. Like you're not just walking by guys. You got to be able to scheme a bomb open now, or be able to get a receiver that can go get the 50-50, like Bo Lynn, right? Or you got to be able to scheme these guys open to get bombs off and things like that. And the being able to scheme, you need guys to be able to get open as well, because you got to be able to beat separation. And there's not too many teams in this league, if there's any, that don't have, you know, speed everywhere or at corners or at, you know what I mean? It's literally about 4 or 5 linebackers in this league that's just as fast as his number 2 receiver right
now. Yeah, true that. And then they 6'3", they 6'3" and 6'4". Them wide receivers 5'8" and 5'9". So like I said, I like what he did. That Deion Smith, you know, getting him first 6'2" Jackson State.
I still don't think that this should have been his first overall pick though, because we only talking about offense right now.
Right.
I'm not mad at it because he's gonna make it work, right? I know he will. That's one thing I trust that he'll do. He'll make this work. And I think you need to spend some time in. Like right now, what I would do is I'm putting Gary Bryant on the field, right? I don't know about Tavion Robinson, but I'm putting Garrett Bryant on the field. Here's why. You need tandem breakout messages to happen. You give him one game. Once the tandem breakouts happen and he got your number 2, it's over with, because then he gets the tandem breakouts. Now what you do is you turn him into a superstar X factor by the time he plays 3 games, because the first tandem is 150. Bonuses is touchdowns, right? Then once you hit that, now he's a superstar. Then your next week is another tandem that come right out again for him again, and then bam, he's an X factor. And now you got your 2 receivers to go into the future with right here, Deion Smith and Gary Bryant. Both of these guys are in situations where, you know, they need to be developed and
you got Huffman for your slot after this year until you let somebody else, unless that tandem carries over to another wide receiver.
And he's on. Look, his like, you got to get these guys. Like you almost got to sacrifice fuck or win right now. You got to get development happening in a fast way over here. Deion Smith really needs to be a superstar, and Bryant gotta get to a superstar. Huffman's already there, and then you go there. That's where you start at. My question though,
Deion Smith on their star?
Yeah, he on their star. And my question is this though: is Butterfield going to be the quarterback of this team for the future, or is he just a whole place? I mean, you traded for this quarterback. So is this a guy this is going to be his quarterback, or is he going to go get another quarterback, draft another guy? You know what I'm saying? That's the first issue. They got to figure that out. Do you give this guy 2 to 3 seasons and then get your quarterback 3 years from now, or do you try to shoot for one this draft and figure it out and have it battle it out quarterback? Because you still got Marino here to hold you down.
The last couple of years, he been seen to swap quarterbacks like you change draws almost every couple of years or so, like whenever they feel like it.
Yep.
Like I say, the speed of the league a little bit faster. I think early on it was a little easy to do a time or two or get away with it, but now it's like it's pretty tough. It's a lot tougher.
Even though you're seeing a lot of 90s and good players right now, he's in a situation where, you know, he has to really fix his roster back up now. He got to better show his GM talent now. And the process of showing your GM talent, I think it got to be more important there than even trying to win ball games right now. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying ever don't go out there and win. Get your ass down, motherfucker. I'm not saying go out here and lose games and shit. I'm saying go out here and develop your team and get your GM on. Every week you should be looking at MGM DMs, looking to make something happen. I think he's straight on the offensive line. When you look at this team, they're solid there. But that's not his only problem, because you come over here defensively and here's the issues. Righty, if you're looking into your future, Nick Nasty has another 2 seasons. Well, yeah, what is it, 2 seasons before he hits that 30-year-old phase. You did pick up Jordan Birch, right? Reggie Gorman, Jordan Birch. So to me, you got to get better right here at the D ends. At D tackle, SAP 28, same thing there. You got Lil still though. You got to attack your front four right now. Like whether And I'm not saying you got to be in a draft getting these guys. Maybe you can trade for a guy or two in this situation to get this fixed. So you got to get that taken care of. The linebacker room. You like their linebacker room? I mean, they took the first step last year when they drafted Noah Sewell. I thought they should have continued to draft at that linebacker level.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen a follow up. Once they kind of did, they grabbed him a boy a little late. Cody Simon.
Yeah, I mean, this
You
is
still you still got Wendell. You still got Dale over there on Penn State. Dale. You got,
I mean,
they got
here's the
Jordan. You
thing.
got some pieces, but
Sharif Stevens, 6'6", 250. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm moving him to defensive end. I'm moving him to DN, bro.
I mean, he probably should have been moved to DN because he's not playing at linebacker.
Nah, not with 85 speed, 89
not with
XL.
85 speed. I would have probably
league.
been had him at DN. Like,
got good block share, 88. He only a couple of points away from being a 90 there, and everything else he's high on. I'm moving him to DN, and this is who I'm rocking out with. I'm moving him at DN. There's no way this.
And then I'm moving Marvin Leal to D tackle.
Yes, sir.
D tackle. He got the D tackle over there.
Well, he kind of good at D tackle for right now. He still got Randy Sapp.
You got Randy Sapp and Marvin Leal.
So you use listen, you use Nasty, you use Birch, but you bring Sharif down at the end, right, and put him in your rush packages because he can.
Let him be the third DN on both sides, and with injuries, he'd be the first one off the. If he one of them DNs got in, he'd be the first one in looking at his roster. So then you still his main three linebackers. You know, we got Sewell in the middle.
You got Dell. You got to work these guys, right? Because they have the abilities right now. So you got to work these guys. That means you got to bring Cody Simon up. And if I'm him, I'm playing Noah Sewell and Cody Simon. They're my two middle linebackers. And then my outside linebackers are going to be these two guys right here because they're ability guys, Butler and Wendell. So now you know that's a little cleanup right there. At the cornerback position, you're not bad here at all. You just got to get these guys. You did draft Tarheeb still, so I'm not mad there. You got some guys down here, Demarius Mathis. You still got Travis Brownlee. So you got situations over here that you can get developed over a period. So you're cool there. But then here's the problem. Javon Holland lost his ability. He's 30 years old. You got Javier Rivers and you got John Huggins. Both of them got good speed. Both of them got good overalls. Both of them got not built yet because their awareness is not there yet. And they only stars, right? Then you lose Trill Williams at 30 years old, but you got Bubba Bolden and you traded for Jalen Petrie. So here's my two starting safeties right here, right? And I'm maybe Huggins. I don't know who you spend more attention to, Rivers or Huggins, because you know he's gonna put Bolden at the sub linebacker.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, man, oh man.
Now you see his real issues right now. It's not that.
I think that his real issue is just player development over here. Like you can't have so reason why you over here looking at you look at Rivers and Huggins on the outside. And it's like, damn, which one would I start? And the first thing I got to look is their ages. They're around the same, but there's a 3-year age gap difference. So that's when it's like, oh, man, I could have Huggins way up there, but you don't have Rivers on your team for a minute.
Right.
And I know.
It's about to be his fourth season completed right now.
Yeah. And he's actually only 87 overall, so it's like, well, he's 6'4" with 94 hit power. I know he don't start, but if you had been getting him some type of reps, and training and working him up, he'd be. I guess he was playing his best season was 44 tackles his first year, but he kind of lost his edge. Oh man. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to play a little bit of Huggins. I might go with Huggins, to be honest with you.
That's who I'm going with. I'm going with John Huggins.
I gotta go with the young boy.
Look like he could be the better cover guy because look at him at 1 year in, he has better attributes already. His upside is better. Because look, you good though. Look, both your strong safeties, one can play free, one can play the other. So you traded for Jalen Petrie, and I gave you that when I gave out the gifts, I made him a superstar. So that changes everything. You got blazing speed there, and blazing speed with Bubba Bolden. So you're really deep at the safeties right now, too deep to go back. But you want to play Bubba down there in the sub packages when you're in your diamond nickels. So you need that other safety, and I would just fuck with Huggins at the free, leave him at the free, and then leave Petrie at the strong, and then you deal with Bubba at the sub packages. But you got to move that linebacker room around, get that straightened out. And if he does that, he can savage some of his season this year. And then he just played a development game all year. Everything's about development and GMing. And what can you do GM wise? Either if you don't want to go get some of these players that's already built, then you better find a way to get rid of some players. And I don't even know if he has the players on his roster to get rid of, to get the capital, to get more draft capital. What do you think?
Look to his roster, get rid of somebody, bring him in some extra picks, because I think he should have definitely addressed the linebacker. I'm surprised he really didn't address the linebacker room, because, like, that's all we was talking about is Noah Sewell over there last year quite a bit, I believe. I just know, I'd like to ask him himself, and I know he probably watching a lot, like, did you see a difference in your defense with Noah Sewell? Because you haven't, like, you didn't have a lot of, like, any notable linebackers with a lot of speed. I think he was playing pretty good team defense over there. Was there any? I just think he really would have addressed it.
Was looking like the top rosters in the league, and what he does already, he wins a lot. So if he get the roster up to par, he fuck around be a Super Bowl team again.
Man, I think that might be something some teams look at. Like we looked at some teams before. Like this might be a person who can't develop a lot of his players as well, but he might look into trading for a player or two. I mean, even at this stage in the game, like it's people out here with 24 and 25 years old that's in their 90s, that's 90'd out, that can come in and help on your team right away. There's some backups out there. You just got to take a look sometime.
But you have to be able to be willing to do it. Like, you know how hard it is to be like, all right, I ain't worrying about this draft. I'm going to go get my player. Like we've seen two teams do it, right? We've seen the Jaguars do it. We've seen the Broncos do it. And the success from them doing that is, the Jaguars roster is good enough to compete with anybody at any moment, and he's been a consistent playoff team. I know the division was a little weak at the time. It's not now, but it was a little weak at the time. But he still was able to win marquee games in this league. The Broncos,
he still don't have double-digit wins every year.
Yes, the Broncos didn't draft anything. He just fucking let the computer do his drafting, and he'd trade for the players and trade his draft picks and trade for already built players. And remember, he had the most faces in the league, or most real face players in the league, and it resulted in him playing in 2 Super Bowls.
And he didn't even attend the draft. So
and what happened was that veteran presence, those players that already was built, what did it do? When you play the Ravens, after the Ravens, you get your ass kicked a couple of times, and then all of a sudden,
players make plays.
2 years.
Players make some plays.
Players make plays all game long, and I can't do shit. And he's playing in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. Simple as that, right? Now the flip side of that is he got reset and started all over. But you in that boat right now. Like you want to be able to reset your team without losing any integrity. That's why it's always good to be able to build depth on your team. And you have to, if you're going to draft, you got to win in those drafts. Like you got to pick the right, not the best player available every time. Like so now, next thing you know, you drafted 4 or 5 receivers in 5 drafts straight. But when you did that, you missed backup D linemen that could have been, high in your second round or third round. I mean, guys are getting dogs at the D line position.
Don't take it from us. Don't take it from me. Take it from the Super Bowl champ. Every time you talk to Falk, Falk won the most Super Bowls, not Super Bowl champ. My bad, not to say it like that. But what Falk would talk about, Falk won the most bowls in the league, and the first thing he say, yeah, plug and play. I developed them players. They sat on my bench for 2 years, yada yada yada. Now he leading the league in sacks. Or like it's just different levels to the game. You gotta development is one part of it. Look at the step the Eagles took.
Yes, sir.
In some of those games when he got it a little bit better in player development. Sometimes he'll still trade for a veteran here and there. He'll trade for a veteran, but he developed his team a little bit better.
Remember before the
through
Eagles
some developing
made that
players and through making some trades. You know what I mean?
Remember when we was like, yo, he drafted 2 quarterbacks in the first round back to back. He didn't give a fuck what we was talking about. He drafted his quarterback. Bang, got him. Now, the one problem the Eagles always had was defensive front seven. Simple as that, right? But look at their last 2 drafts, what they did defensively. And this
Well,
is how you got to draft.
even before he got to the draft, what did he do right away? He got the second quarterback and rocked with him, and then accumulated some picks for the other quarterback.
Yep.
You know, he got 2/3. He got a third for this year and a third for next year. Made a couple of moves and got some picks.
So you look at it, not this draft we just had, but the draft before that, he get Adissa Isaac in the first round, right? Most guys, let's see what pick he got him at. Most guys ain't even looking for a defensive lineman in the first round at all. Like, they want a skill. If you had a choice over a receiver or defensive end, you're not getting him with pick 7. Most guys are gonna go get a corner, safety that's a dog, super safety, or they gonna get themselves a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. They're not gonna do this. Pick 7, you go get him, right? They continued in that same draft and came back and got they had another guy. He's not on here. He must be on their practice squad right now, guaranteed.
He got Adissa Isaac.
Yep, here you go, right here. Merlin Robinson got him, look, on the practice squad. Got guys. All right, look, whatever. But now let's get back to what they did. Now this draft, they came out and they went and got. They had success with Jordan Davis. They understood that, you know, the running game over in the NFC East is a bunch of big running backs that break tackles. So they get Jordan Davis in the first real draft. Then they come back this draft right here and get DeMonte Capehart, game changer. Now they got 2 plug-in D tackles. Their D line is fixed now. Troy Newell sitting here, Eric Webb. They've been drafting him. It's fixed now. Now they don't got a situation at the linebacker level. They went and got Marcel Brooks last draft. You know what I mean? They already had these guys there. You go look at over here. They pick up Malik Leak in free agency. So they good there, right? And for them to be able to trade the safety off is because they've been drafting well. So now they have a front 7 on defense that can work with it. They can work with, and it fits what they want to do scheme-wise. And you got to better do that. Like, you got to better, you know, sit there and really off-brand. Look, bro, I tear the D-line up, and I spend more time on those guys because I can plug and play. Once the guys get 28 and I can trade them, or 26 and I can off them guys, I got the guys on my bench to back that up, and then I'll draft another one to be sitting there waiting to go. But if you go through your team, you see it.
I did it the first couple of years. Interior, I drafted interior linemen and offensive linemen in the first couple rounds, for 3 years straight as well.
But that's the thing, guys will not go get defensive linemen in the top 10, damn near the top 20. They don't really want them. They're gonna get the fastest player possible,
fastest wide receiver, fastest cornerback. But we can say this, Madden, one thing that people have gotten. I missed this draft, but in the previous drafts, I should be asking how did this one go? Because you know we seen a draft of linebackers, and we seen another draft with draft of safeties and quarterbacks, and so I missed this one. So this Madden has been a little bit different. Previous Maddens, every
I tell you like
first
this,
round
that
is
draft
ran
like
by
this.
the fastest cornerbacks and wide receivers.
Look,
corners and wide receivers.
Every pick that was being made, we was like, good pick.
How many people actually drafted?
I mean, we only had 4 people. Not 4 people didn't draft.
Damn, that sound about right.
Sorry. I thought it wasn't done. But yeah, everybody, it was like we was going through the draft. Like every pick was popping up. We like, God damn, good pick. You know, at the end of the draft, not just that, guys. It was so many people that traded after the draft. It was a good. I tell you one thing. It changed my attitude. I was having a good day. Then it went south. And then you saw, guys doing the right shit in the draft, and you saw guys making moves after the draft. The commissioner room was full of trades, and everybody was moving and doing their thing. And it was beautiful. That tells me that everybody getting it. So it was very enjoyable.
very enjoyable for you as a commissioner,
Yeah, as a commissioner, because the vision that I set out for, I saw it. I seen it take its course, man. A lot of guys got what they needed. Then when it came down to, all right, I got what I needed. Then they understood what was the best available that still fit for some needs I can have, and depth I need, and things like that. You saw it. You saw it happen throughout the whole entire draft process, even after the draft. So. And then guys don't realize that, practice squad right now got starters sitting on that practice squad that could fill you, that could change your entire team. Look, after the draft, the first real draft, Falk went to free agency and picked up all those undrafted rookies that are now 3 years later starters for him. So if you don't think you got your team, you could build your team off the practice squads right now.
Oh, I know. Trust me, bro. Remember me and Falk tore that one up. Because every play he was like, damn, oh, you got and I kind of lost. So when I say I kind of lost all the motherfuckers. Well, that's a good. Hey, look, I know, man. We punished that joke, but it's levels to it, man. Like, and you can see. A lot of people, it's a lot of backups, young backups. I'm talking about 24, 25 years old that's developed out here on other teams. Man, sometimes some people just got to be scared to, don't be scared to go take a shot, to go make a trade and go make a shot. There's plenty of, damn, Patriots got hits Israel. Sheesh.
It was a lot of movement, man. A lot of movement. So look at our top performances right now in week 4, going into week 5. You got Kyler Murray with 1908, almost a 2,000-yard QB. Quill Glass, same thing, 1765. He threw 17 touchdowns already. Gary Bradshaw's up there with 1574 and 11 touchdowns in the run game. You got Jawan Springs showing that his season wasn't a fluke. Doing it again, follow up. He almost got 1,000 yards rushing, 83, 712, 8 touchdowns. Hits Israel over there in New England. We're going to see him with at least 300 carries this year or more. So now you guys see, productive hits, not just waiting to the playoffs for hits to get busy. He's busy right now, 691-7. And then Jalen Hayden from the Tennessee Titans is putting in work right now, 602 and 11 rushing touchdowns. In the receiving game, you got young diaper Danny, the 10th overall pick, Malachi Wyman, 28 catches, 757 and 14 touchdowns for the Cardinals. Brew McCoy for the Bucks. We talked about him all last year. Oh, computer this, computer that. And we told y'all, all right, against big teams and big games, he wasn't putting the rookie on the field, but he ain't a rookie anymore. 23 catches for 83, 6 touchdowns. Mike Timmons, another Lions player over there, 31 catches, 553, and 4 touchdowns. And you get to the sack department. Peter Boulware, a veteran in this league. Jeremy Cumberland, Jeremiah, whatever I call his name, but Mr. Cumberland. He got 7 sacks right now, 4 tackles for losses. Bo Calvert with 7 tackles and 3. Who got Bo right now?
Let Falk get Wyman at pick 10.
Wyman slid right down and got Malachi. Jackson State's dog.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody watched that Jackson State spring game today, but boy. All right, interception leaders. Look at Brahim Wagner up here with 5. Look at Kelvin Joseph, the ex-Cowboy, with 5. And then the $200 million man, Christian Irons, with 5. Tackle leaders, you got Kyle Hamilton for the Chargers, 38 tackles, 28 solos. Aaron Dyson for the Raiders, 31 and 27. And then Michael Brown, a cornerback for the Jets, 33 and 26 right now. So that's your top performances as we go into the stats itself right now. And dig into it. But let's look at your player of the weeks for the first 4 games right now. Week 1, Bryce Young, 341 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. Irons had 3 interceptions, a touchdown, 8 tackles, even a sack. Lamar Jackson, 21 for 30, man, 507, 6 passing touchdowns. He also had 2 rushing touchdowns. Peter Boulware went crazy in the first game, 8 tackles, 6 sacks, 3 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. Oh my God, I forgot about that. All right, week 2.
Lamar Jackson better pass over it.
That's what I said.
Went to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, bro.
Yeah, better pass in Jacksonville.
Is that because of, he's a veteran now, man?
System.
He has to rely on
veteran.
throwing the ball more than running now, or what? What is it? But he is
more aware. He just relying a little bit more on his passing now. Sheesh.
Yes, he did, man. He wilding. Murray's up here with 377 yards, 6 passing touchdowns. You had Green, the DN for the Vikings, 10-3 sacks. Tremaine Bass, 34 carries, 303 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. He also had 79 yards receiving. Malachi Moore stepped up, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions. Also, the AFC was rocked by the Las Vegas Raiders. In week 3, Sidney Cake shows up, 22 for 35, 454, 5 pass touchdowns, 33 carries. He did fumble once, but he still balled, 22 for 35. I mean, what happened? Why he exploded in this game? 454 in the air. That's something we ain't used to seeing.
I don't know. Just,
Old man Devin White, 8 tackles, a sack, an INT, and a forced fumble on week 3. Springs had 23 carries for 209 yards. He had 4 rushing touchdowns and 1 catch. And then there's the boy Aaron Dyson with 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and an INT. Week 4, Wideman goes crazy. 8 catches, 235 yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Wagner, B. Wagner, not K. Wagner. 8 tackles, 4 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and a touchdown. Tony Mooney, 16 carries, 168 yards, 10.5 yards a pop, 2 rushing touchdowns. He is playing well. He had 2 receiving touchdowns as well. And then you had the kid Wooten, cornerback, 4 tackles, 2 interceptions for the Bengals, 1 forced fumble. That's your players of the week for the first 4 weeks. Let's go look at stats right now, see where it's hitting for. Your top QB passers right now are Murray, Glass, Bradshaw, Weber, Crum, Stockton, Young, Thomas, and Butterfield. 1348. Lamar Jackson as well. Let's see, that's 10 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Man.
Touchdown makers right now. Murray with 25, Glass with 17, Bryce Young with 16, Weber with 13, Mark Robinson with 4-0, Chief 13 touchdowns. Sidney Cake with 13, Butterfield 12, Iverson 12, Sims 12. In the running game department. In 4 games, Jaleel Ruggs with 100 carries. Jalen Hayden 98, E.B. Savage 95, Bass with 83, 83 from Springs, 83 from Charlie Brown, good shit, and 80 from Mike Washington playing for the end of the streets right now. Let's go at the journey, 4.4 yards pop. Try to get that up to about 5, 6 yards. But right now it's solid yards. Yard base. 712 from Springs, hit Israel second with 691. Jaden Hudson 602. Ruggs 592. Jermaine Bass 539 yards rushing. Moody. Boone Jackson having a stellar season, 7.6 yards a pop right now. Mike Washington, the backup running back for the Panthers, just playing like he's the starter anyway, with 10 touchdowns at 493. Joey Cummings, late start to the party, 69, 442, 624, 4 rushing touchdowns. And then Casey Fields, the veteran, 6'5", 439, 6.8, 4 touchdowns. All right, so Snake, we like the fact that Breece Hall is now the new bell cow for the Jaguars. He's sitting with 7 rushing touchdowns, averaging 5.7 yards a pop, 100 yards, 108 yards on the game max.
Man, he waited over there patiently, man. There's 2 running backs this year that we looking to see, right? Breece Hall with the Jags, and the young boy when the new Falcons usually come in. With John Robinson, man. We're definitely looking to see them 2 guys.
All right,
ETN's still the backup over there, right?
Yep. All right. So Malachi Wideman with Troy Franklin 34 catches, Mike Timmons 31, 99 Reasons 29, Malachi Wideman 28, Bowers, Brock Bowers, the #1 tight end in the draft that went in the first round, 27 for the Giants. Ding Wu 27 as well. And you got Dorian Lewis tight end. Remember last year the tight ends was killing the league with receptions. Right now the receivers are back. Let's look at the yards wide right now. None has more than Malachi Wideman right now, 757. He's on course to be the best rookie receiver in the NFC and possibly best receiver in the league. 27 yards a pop, 14 touchdowns. He's light years away from anybody when it comes down to touchdowns. Now, the Waddle replacement right now. He's playing good sidekick to Waddle, but he's still up there with 24 catches, 597. Receiving, that's the young diaper dandy, Deion Smith. So we got two diaper dandies winning that. A young gunner and Brew McCoy with 583. Mike Timmons.
Deion Smith played his game, and Coy and Wyman haven't played their game this week.
Okay. All right.
Just throwing that out there.
No doubt. Jermaine Pierre, 484. Gilbert, tight end, 479. Stankin' Franklin, the new Stankin' Franklin, Troy. Franklin for the Saints right now. He's balling, putting it in. Bateman up there. Obviously, if Lamar's having a great year, Bateman is too. Tutu Atwell up here. No attributes, just up here. Dorian Parker, the veteran, and the young Xavier Worthy was the number 2 receiver in that draft. He's balling right now too. Touchdown makers. Let's see who's doing what. Again, you can't really top 14. The next guy up is 6. Hendricks got 6, and you got Boseman with 6. Tight end Keon Slaughter with 5. Warwick with 5. We got Marcus McLean, the diaper dandy from Southern HBCU with 5 for the Bills. Troy Franklin with 5. Deion Smith 5. Jenkins 99 Reason with 5. Then you're looking at Bateman with 4. Atwell with 4. JT Anthony with 4. Young Xavier Worthy. I like the fact that we're seeing some young gunners up here. Demon Time up here. Brock Bowers, the new tight end of this year's group. Tion Pitts is back in the building for. Angelo Griffin is doing his thing, but not with the Ravens right now. Did you know that happened too?
Nah, I didn't. Shoot.
A lot of trades, man. I'm telling you, the draft after the draft was fucking nuts, bro. Everybody was getting their trade on. Shit, the Lions got some weapons at that receiver position right now. Pierre with 4. Look at all these 4s right now. Carmichael, Timmons. You got Debo Sharp, Nick Candy, Vegas Jones Jr. Bowman still up here. Waddle still got 4 of them things. Joseph 4. Raymond Nobles, okay, with 4 there. That guy's balling right now. Let's go look at the defensive side of things. Who's your tackle guy right now? All right. How do you feel about Kyle Hamilton? Has he been too quiet, or you think he's, been playing good football?
Man, I think it's just hard to come. It's hard to come behind a Derwin James. So like, it's hard to replace a Derwin James. You know what I mean? So like, anything is gonna seem like quiet. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to stand up to over there, but leading the league in tackles right now as of this year.
Right. Now, you look at the tackles, Tyquan Hill, he's done it twice. He got another linebacker, second, 36. Xavier Collins, 35, the veteran. Michael Brown at corner, 33. Owen Papo with 33. Aubrey Miller, 32. Dyson with 31. So you got guys there at Jet Black. Starting to see a Justin Flo sighting. Justin Flo wasn't really asked to do a whole lot last year, man. I think he started for this team last year. It just wasn't, we didn't really hear much from him last year. I mean, he had 62 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. I'm expecting him to blow up this year, though, now that Isaiah Simmons is not on the field on his team anymore. He's finally taking on that acting career of his. But I'm expecting Justin Flo to be that next guy up, man. Do you see him, replacing Isaiah Simmons and having them type of season?
Man, we done seen him, man. He done became a Madden legend already, so man, he already. I'm surprised we ain't see our old. Yeah, I'm surprised our old boy ain't up there though. Ain't take over for real over there.
Which one? Oh, no, 6'7"? 6'7"?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
He
doing
been kind of quiet over there. Like we ain't really. Like that's interesting.
I don't even think he's playing him at the middle linebacker.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like. That's kind of interesting.
All right, defense end Calvin Green, 9 tackle for losses. Gabe Coles keep making us know that he's here for real. He got 9. Chris Irons not only got 5 interceptions, he got 9. We got Jalen Samuels at D tackle with 6. Jordan Williams at D tackle got 6. Pharrell with 6. Devin White with 6. Isaiah Mincy got 6, but he don't got 6 for the Ravens. The Lions, Isaiah Mincy with 6. Micah Parsons with 5. Caught Young with 5. Saragusa with 5. You got guys getting there a bunch of 5s. Let's see the sack leaders. All right, Peter Bower, 14 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He got 8 sacks. Boy, got a deflection and how many forced fumbles? 3 forced fumbles all year already.
Make sure you know.
Jeremy Cumberland got 7.5 sacks, 16 tackles, 14 tackles for loss. There you go, Bo Calvin, 6'5", 260 defensive end. He has 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, but he got 7 sacks on the year. Bryce Ware from the Broncos with 19 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 6.5 sacks. Keyshawn Pepper for the Ravens. He went crazy last year, 16 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks. Nick Nasty still doing it pretty big. 6 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Aaron Hansford, 6'3", 240 linebacker with 22 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Caught Young, 5.5. You got Roy Fairley at D tackle with 5.5. There you go, Amar at Barno, the guy that the Falcons released 90 minutes. I mean, they didn't do this on purpose. This is the same thing that happened with you.
Oh wow.
When you know,
he
drafted
ate.
this guy.
He ate. Damn. I'm married to
Tell Snake look at his DM real quick. You see that?
Oh. All right.
The Bills got them plug and play boys. Trying to tell you. Quavo, Seville Smalls, Chase Young, Lindsey White, Lance Boone. Start getting down to the fours. Let's see who's leading the league in interceptions right now. Raheem Wagner with 5. Isaac Taylor Stewart with 5. 21 tackles. He got sacked and a tackle for loss with 5 of them things. You take anything to the crib yet? Boy, he got 2 of them things to the crib. We'll get to that in a second. Oh my God. Chris Irons, 5. Calvin Joseph, 5. Terrell Williams with 4. The Jamaican Lennox Castle with 4. Devin Ward, 3. Graham with 3. Castro Field with 3. Kilroy, 3. Martin Johnson, 3. Malachi Moore, 3. We're getting there. Let's go see who's doing the deflections. Caden Stearns with no ability. Caden Stearns. So you're looking at forced fumbles right now. 3 from Boulware, Aubrey Miller, Ida Taylor Stewart, Angelo Falk, Tevin Henderson, Jimmy Adams, Rodney Harrison, Ty Quinn Johnson, all got 2. Let's see touchdown guys right now. Ida Taylor Stewart leading that group, then you a whole bunch of ones. DJ Woodbury. Fucking Lions got Ross over. Oh my God. All right, fellas, that's your show for the night, man. We will holler at you tomorrow for Breakfast Club or lunchtime special. One of the two gonna pop up. Other than that, holler at you, man. Holler at you. We're gone.